you are stuck in an endless cycle of bad habits and self-sabotage and you feel like you can't get anything done with your life, you feel like you never can make things happen, everything just seems to be a little bit stuck and stagnant, in this video I am going to share with you guys how you can reverse all of that. I know too well what it feels like to be a big dreamer, have big goals and big dreams, but feel like you are just being held back, sometimes by what feels like yourself and what you are doing, because to be honest, that is the case. It feels like everyone just walks all over you, it feels like life just happens to you, things just happen and you have no control over that whatsoever. But I am here to tell you today that that is not the case. This video is going to show you how you can break those cycles and you can stop being a victim of your life and actually take control and make life work in your favor. Turn self-pity into rage. I mentioned this very briefly in my last video, but I noticed last week, the week before, I was really just in this trap of feeling sorry for myself, feeling like life was just happening to me, feeling like I was a victim of my own life. And I spent every single morning before I had to go into the office complaining constantly just to myself. I keep a video diary and I was just like finding that I was venting so much and I was complaining so much about my reality and what I had to do in that day. The fact that I had to go to work and earn a living when I wanted to just focus on this and be creative and in flow with what I want to do. And all I was doing was just complaining about it. And then one morning I literally just had this like realization and epiphany of what the fuck am I doing? I genuinely was wasting so much time complaining about what was going wrong in my life, and I thought that it was helping me, I thought that it was soothing me, because in that moment it does feel good for you to rant and rave about whatever's going on and it feels like it's a release, but there is a line that you need to draw and I definitely went way past that line. I was just complaining all the time and I realised that complaining about my life circumstances was not changing my life circumstances, it was just keeping me stuck in them but feeling bad about them. Instead of just wallowing in this self-pity and how bad I thought my life was and how different I wanted my life to be, I just turned that self-pity into rage. So I went in the shower, I put on some positive affirmations and I just decided, right, I am going to take control of this day. I am going to channel this self-pity into rage about like how much I was complaining about things and how annoyed I was at myself for doing so. So I was just shouting out these positive affirmations while I was in the shower. I was just saying them with my chest and being really like powerful about it and tapping into this energy of rage, not forcing myself to be like, oh yeah, you need to be positive, because that's so fucking annoying and it doesn't work. But I think sometimes if you want to kind of take those steps up to like a higher vibrational feeling, sometimes rather than going from like sadness, self-pity, victim mode into positivity, I'm feeling amazing, blah blah blah, I think sometimes we can take it in steps. So I feel like the next step up from that sadness and the self-pity for me personally is anger and rage. So tapping into that rage really just brings about a bit of momentum into my life and it makes me just feel a lot more empowered. And what ended up happening was I was saying these affirmations out loud, I was saying them with my chest, I was being completely fearless and unapologetic about them, and in the end it kind of made me laugh a little bit at myself because I was thinking like, this is so funny how I have just gone from wallowing and being a mopey bitch and then I've just gone into the shower and I've suddenly decided like, no, I'm going to change my day around, and I did. And I just found that so amusing and so funny. So the whole situation ended up being funny and lighthearted anyway. And I think sometimes we just need that push into feeling something different rather than just wallowing and feeling sorry for ourselves. Taking it up a notch, getting some momentum into your life, getting some momentum into your vocal cords by speaking out into existence what you want, affirming it so loudly. It's so empowering to do that, and it genuinely changes my mental state of being when I do that. I even felt it this morning because after last week when I did that, I've had a pretty good run. Like, I've been feeling really great. I felt like I have all the answers to everything and like everything's been working out in my favor. But then this morning, I was feeling that self-pity again. I was feeling sad, I was feeling sorry for myself. And I thought, okay, I know what I need to do. I know that I need to get in the shower and I need to shout out these affirmations and I need to kind of like inject the momentum into my day and that energy into my day. But I was kind of resistant to it and I was thinking, oh, I don't really want to do that because it seems like ridiculous. It seemed like it wasn't going to work. But genuinely, I just forced myself to do that again. Forced myself to have a little bit of momentum in the morning, And it truly, truly helps. Honestly, I don't know what it is, I don't know what kind of sorcery it is, but I think you just need to channel your energy into something that is actually going to benefit you, rather than channeling all of your precious energy into everything that you hate about your life. Because the more that you focus on the things that you hate about your life, the more you are going to amplify them and bring more instances like that into your life, and that's not what we want. We do not want that at all. So yes, channeling victim mindset, feeling sorry for yourself, into rage and momentum and energy and empowerment. Start writing every single day. Writing in a journal, documenting your life, documenting how you're feeling day to day. The reason you want to do this in order to take control of your life and make life work in your favor is because you need to know what's going on in your life. You need to become so conscious of all of the unconscious things that are happening to you throughout the day. So a lot of people, I would say the majority of people, are living on autopilot. They are just floating by, doing what they do every single day because their brain is wired to do so and that's comfortable for them. And they don't really have a lot of self-awareness. Like, they're not really thinking about like their actions or why they act the way that they act. They're not introspecting. So many people don't do this, and I found that so shocking because I've always been a very introspective person. I like to know everything about myself and why I do every single thing that I do. It just brings me peace. I don't know why. But there are so many people who are just so unconscious and they don't really know what they're doing. And even myself, as a self-proclaimed introspective person who really loved to know about myself and thought that I was so self-aware, I definitely had blind spots, and I still have blind spots. So in order to counteract this, in order for you to actually know what the fuck is going on with your life, you need to start writing every single day. You need to make a habit of writing and journaling every single day, even if that's just for like 5 minutes. Just getting your thoughts off of your chest and onto your notes app, onto paper, Notion, whatever. It really just helps you kind of ground yourself in that moment, center yourself, kind of see where you're stood right now, like what is going on, observing what you're feeling. If you kind of like, if you don't want to do this at a set time every single morning, I do recommend that because I feel like it builds the habit. But I think getting into that habit of when you are feeling a certain kind of way, checking in with that and just grabbing your phone, because I know you have your phones nearby. This isn't even my phone anymore, guys. I've got a Samsung. I am a Samsung girly. I've got a little flip phone. How fucking cute is that? Anyway, get in your phone, write it in your notes app what you are feeling, what has triggered you right now, what has led you up to that moment, how have you reacted, how do you want to react? Really just getting so curious about what happens in your life, how you respond to it, and how you want to respond to it. Because a lot of the time when things happen to us, we just respond from our primal monkey brain, our emotional brain, our limbic system, where we just want to react and we want to kind of self-soothe by lashing out at whatever has happened. But more often than not, hindsight is a wonderful thing, and you will look back on that and you will think, fuck, that was embarrassing. Why did I do that? So this practice, I feel like, really just helps with you getting to know yourself, getting to know how you operate, getting to know, I don't know, just what you do in a day, how you feel. I recommend on your notes app or whatever, make a folder called like mindset, me, best version of me, whatever you want to call it, winter arc, because I know that's a big thing at the minute. Everyone's in their winter arc and I love it. But just make a folder like that, and every time that you have a new thought or a new feeling or something triggers you and you don't know why, just write it down in your notes. Just a quick 30-second typing session of whatever happened, and then it's there so that when you're feeling down in your down moments, you can kind of refer back to these journal entries and these notes about yourself, and you can kind of study yourself a little bit and try to figure out what is wrong and try to figure out how you can respond differently in future. It's kind of like a fun little game. It's like a puzzle. You are a puzzle and you are trying to work yourself out. Honestly, guys, that information is going to be the most invaluable tool that you can have in order to know yourself, so that you can then take control of your life and stop being a passenger of your own life. My third tip, you're probably going to roll your eyes and think it's a bit boring, but stick with me. Meditation. Meditation is definitely something that is so simple, so easy, that you can do, that is going to put you ahead of everybody else. Nobody wants to sit down with their own emotions and their own feelings. Like, people want to avoid it like it's the plague. myself included, I really do put off meditation because, to be honest, I need my brain to be stimulated. I need to be doing something all the time, and I don't like to just sit there and do nothing and think about nothing. It's boring. But when I have implemented this into my life and made it a daily thing, even if it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I feel like 10 minutes is my sweet spot. But doing that every single day, making it a habit, is going to accelerate you ahead of other people because nobody else wants to do it. This is such a simple and easy thing that you can do. You know that you can do, you just don't want to do it, but that is going to help you so much. It is going to improve your focus, it's going to improve your memory, it's going to allow you to have more mental clarity. You're going to have a lot more patience when you meditate in the morning, when you have a practice of meditation. This is what I found in myself. Like, I wasn't so reactive, I wasn't so irritable about like what other people were saying or doing because I allowed myself to do this mental practice, this mental workout of training my brain to just stop and just reflect, just think, and allow a little bit of space between the reactions of my limbic system in my brain. I think I've got that the right way around. And my prefrontal cortex, which is my logical side of my brain. You need to widen the gap between those so you have more space and time in between so that you can allow yourself to feel your emotions, feel all the things that you want to feel, but control those emotions and allow yourself to not react, and then giving yourself time to let your prefrontal cortex kick in and give you some logic to the situation. Because yeah, if we just react to everything at first glance, at first instance, we are not going to get anywhere in life. We're just going to be surrounded by conflict, surrounded by problems and issues because we've not thought things through, we've just reacted from an emotional standpoint. I know that we like to do things that kind of give us this instant result, like we feel instantly better from it. Like if we was to go to the gym and work out, none of us really want to do that, but when we do it, we know that at least after we've done it, we will feel some endorphins, we will feel good. Whereas with meditation, you don't get that. You literally don't feel like you're getting anything from it straight after you've done it. You just feel like, thank fuck that is over, like now I can get on with my day. But I promise you, the more that you implement this into your life and the more that you practice it and you strengthen your brain, because that is what it is, it's a brain workout, you are going to notice such a subtle but also a huge difference in your life and just the way that you respond to things. I say subtle in the way that it just comes naturally, it just happens. You wake up one day and you realize that you are not in the same place that you were a year ago, and it is the best feeling ever. This is something that I need to hold myself accountable for because I've definitely not been doing that. I don't think I've done that this year, to be honest, but last year I did it all the time and it really made a difference in the way that I showed up in the world, in my dedication, in my commitment, my discipline, just in my mental clarity in general. So yeah, it's boring, but trust me on this one. Just stick to it, do 5 minutes every single day. It's so easy, you know you can do it. You can just sit there and just meditate. I recommend doing a guided meditation because I feel like then it kind of keeps you on track and you don't feel the need to, like, after 30 seconds just fob it off. If you're doing a guided one, then you kind of have to see it through and stick it out. And even if you don't want to do meditation, okay, I'm going to give you a second option. Try yoga. Yoga is essentially the same kind of thing because you are clearing your brain. It's a very mindful workout that you can do, and that is something that I feel like has very similar effects, and it's kind of like habit stacking in a way because you're doing a workout and you're doing your mindfulness. So if you don't want to just sit there for 5 minutes, do nothing and like meditate, just do yoga. Do a yoga practice, a 10-minute yoga practice every single day and see how you get on. Fix your eating habits. You have no idea how much of an impact food has on your brain and your mental clarity and your lack of control in your life. I mean, there's probably a lot of you out there who do know the impact of it, and to be honest, now I've said it, I feel like all of us know that if we eat bad food, it's going to have negative impacts on our health, especially our brain health as well, like how we think, our mental clarity. I think maybe that's the part that people don't know. People think about eating bad foods and it makes your body not feel great and it makes you gain weight, get spots, whatever. But I think people don't speak enough about how much it affects your brain when you are eating shit food. When I eat a lot of sugar, which is something that happens, it's something that I'm inclined to do because I love sugar, I love chocolate. In fact, I don't love sweets. I love more like desserts and things like that. Like I'm a sweet dessert kind of girl, not a sweets girl. Anyway, if I am going through a phase of my life where I am eating a lot of sugar, excessive amounts of sugar, I notice so many little differences in my life of how I show up in the world, and it's so gradual, it's so slowly that it happens, but it does happen and it catches up with you, and then all of a sudden one day you are in rock bottom, you're feeling so terrible, and it's like, oh my god, how did I get here? And it's probably because I spent every day stuffing my face with biscuits and chocolate and all these different kind of things. I genuinely even notice a change in my eyesight when I eat a lot of sugar, but that's a story for a different day. But I feel like when I eat a lot of sugar, I feel addicted. I feel like I have no control over my life. I feel like I just want to keep reaching for more and more and more food, which I know that I don't need, and I know it's not giving me the nutrients that I need. So it's kind of like, why am I doing that? But it gets me in this out of control mindset where I just want the next best thing. I want the next hit. I want the next boost of dopamine, and it's not a nice mindset to be in. It makes you just, like I say, feel like you're out of control and feel like you are not at the wheel of your own life. Obviously, this is not an overnight thing. I'm not just going to say this to you and then you're going to think, oh my god, amazing, I'm going to not eat chocolate anymore or not eat sweets and all that kind of stuff. It's a process, and it's still a process for me. Like, I have been consciously aware of this for years now, like so many years, and I'm still kind of going back and forth with it and kind of seesawing on the topic, because I do fall into these like emotional states where I feel like I want to emotionally eat, and then I go to sugar and it makes me feel good and blah blah blah. It's a vicious cycle. But it's one of those things that once you are aware of it, you can't run away from, you can't hide from it, and you do gradually start making little changes in your life, little changes in your diet that kind of support your new mindset and your new lifestyle. Even if you have relapses, even if you go back to emotionally eating and excessively eating lots of sugar, it's easy to beat yourself up about that. It's easy to make yourself feel like really terrible about it. But it's all part of the process, and I feel like it's when we fall down and actually pick ourselves back up again and try again, that's when the growth happens, that's when the learning happens and the change is actually happening. The fact that you are aware of these different things shows you that you are growing and that you are progressing in life. It feels shit when you fall off, it feels shit when you fall down and off your routines, but just know that when you're doing that and then you're picking yourself back up again, you are learning so much more and you are growing so much and becoming so much stronger. It just doesn't seem like it in the moment. It's only in hindsight that you feel that, but just trust me on this one. What you eat is really going to impact your brain health and the way that your brain functions and the way that you feel mentally about life. And if you're eating bad food all the time, you're just gonna feel addicted, like I say, and you're gonna feel out of control of your life. And finally, get precious about your time. If you want to take control of your life and actually make life work in your favor, you can't be saying yes to everything. I'm a yes man, okay? I love saying yes to everything. I love me a good plan. I love me a good event, thing to do. But I've learned over the past few years that I really have had to kind of hone it in and just say no a lot more to plans and kind of get used to feeling like I'm missing out on things. I feel like I am a seasoned professional at this now. I am very good at saying no to things, but there are still times where I'm feeling a little bit out of control in my life. I feel like I'm spiraling, and it's in those moments where I'm like, oh yes, I'll do this, yes, I'll do that, and I overcommit myself, I make too many plans, and then I burn myself out even further. And that is what we do not want. We do not need to tell ourselves that we are spiraling and enable that behavior and allow us to just keep spiraling further and further down. If you have noticed in that moment that you are spiraling, that is your opportunity to change the trajectory of where you're going. You don't need to feel like you are fated to be going on this downward spiral, because that is not what is meant for you. That is not what you are meant to be doing with your life. You're not meant to be allowing yourselves to just slide down to rock bottom. So if you feel like you are spiraling, you are definitely in a more vulnerable position, and you will probably be more likely to say yes to plans and overcommit, and that is not what we want to do. Like I said before with the meditation, we really need to train our brains to kind of give ourselves a little bit of space between feeling something and reacting to something. I think this is actually called metacognition, where you kind of like allow yourself that space to think before you react about something. But the same goes for making social commitments. If someone asks you if you want to do something, rather than just reacting straight away, because that's something that I do, as soon as somebody asks me something in person, I feel like I'm very much on the spot and I get stressed, and then I think I just need to say something to kind of get these people away from me because I'm overwhelmed. So I automatically just resort to saying yes all the time, and then it's afterwards where I have to message them and be like, right, I don't know what I was thinking then, I don't know why I said yes, but I'm really sorry, it's a no. I'm quite good at doing that, but I want to get good at on the spot, kind of having that space to just be like, do I want to do this? Probably not. No, the answer is no. I think if all else fails, saying no to begin with is a great shout, and then maybe message them and say, oh no, I've actually changed my mind. I feel like that's a nicer way to kind of be a little bit more like scatty. Just giving yourself some time. And if you don't want to say anything at all, get really used to saying like, can I have a minute to think about this? Like, oh, I'll get back to you on that. Like, I just need to think about it for a second. Or, oh, I need to check my calendar. Saying things like that just to give yourself the time to really think if you can do something. The reason why you want to get precious with your time and energy is because you need to spend a lot of time and energy on yourself. If you're feeling out of control in your life and you're just saying yes to every single plan and you're allowing life to just kind of whisk you off your feet and take you in whatever direction it's going, you're gonna feel like you're out of control even more. And I think this point actually applies to my people pleasing girlies, because I feel like we just say things to make other people happy. We say what other people want to hear, but we don't actually think about ourselves. If you want to start taking control of your life and making life work in your favor, you have to start prioritizing yourself and what you actually want and getting to know what you actually want. I think the best bet for that is to just kind of be really precious with your time. Make it so that you need VIP access to get to you, because during this time of the year, we're in our winter arc, we're in our building, growing season. We need a lot of time with ourselves, and we need a lot of time to kind of introspect and do all of that kind of stuff. And just one more thing, guys, I was looking at my analytics this morning. I don't usually look at it because I feel like it's too logical and it's too, like, I don't know, it's too much for me. But I noticed that 92% of people who watch my videos are not subscribed to my channel, and that made me so sad, because like, why? If you're watching my videos and if you're liking them, if you're watching consistently, I feel like you'll really enjoy being here. So if you're not subscribed already, and you really like this video, or this video has brought you something, a little bit of insight, a little bit of perspective, then please subscribe, because it helps me so much in growing this channel. I also wanted to say thank you so much for 1,000 subscribers. I can't believe it. I mean, I can, because I've been manifesting it and I've been wanting to bring that into my life. And yes, that was the goal, and we have reached that goal. Thank you so much. I am honestly so grateful, and I can't believe, like, I remember, oh my god, tangent, but I remember when I was a teenager and I had a YouTube channel and I was stuck at like, I think I had like 30 subscribers and I could just never grow my channel. I didn't really commit to it, to be honest. But I remember seeing channels with 1,000 subscribers and thinking like, oh my god, they have so many subscribers, that's amazing. And like, now I've got 1,000 subscribers, I can't believe it. It's crazy. And it's crazy to think how many subscribers I would have if the 92% of people, or at least some of the 92% of people, actually subscribe to my channel. That would be great. If you are feeling like you are out of control at the minute, just know that you are not alone. A lot of us are going through the same kind of things at the minute, and I have definitely been feeling that recently, of feeling like I've kind of like not got control of my life, feeling like life is just happening to me, feeling like everyone else was dictating what was happening for me. I was spiraling. I felt like I had no control over my life. I was comfort eating constantly. I was eating so much sugar and I felt like there was nothing I could do. I felt helpless. But I just want to affirm to you guys and assure to you guys that that does not have to be your reality, and that you can decide who you want to be, how you want your life to go in any given moment. You just have to decide. Anyway, I love you so much. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment down below if you want to get chatting and you want to talk about this topic. And yes, I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.